Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park, sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
Woking's second pre-season run-out comes with the visit of Sky Bet Championship side Portsmouth, who will send a strong side up the A3 and to the Laithwaite Community Stadium. Neil Ardley's men got off to a winning start with a dominant performance at Met Police, rounded off by 2 Iniheffiong goals, with a number of academy players and a solitary trialist putting in impressive shifts in the relentless heat. With the forecast promising a much cooler temperature and even some rain on offer, a faster-paced game could well be on offer for the Cards, against a side who successfully saw off their first season in the Championship and are looking to build on solid foundations. Pompey were somewhat a surprise package, in that they were never really in relegation trouble, and ended the season in 16th place, but with teams coming up such as Birmingham and Wrexham promising to splash the cash, John Mousinho has a task on his hands to keep his side improving. With just one new addition in the form of Australian forward Adrian Sigecic, along with 7 departures, Pompey will aim for consistency to help them in a competitive division. Sigecic joins 3 other Australian players in Mousinho's squad, a real outlier in the English game, but one that Pompey seem to benefit from. Mousinho's squad travelled to the Laithwaites off the back of a training camp in Bratislava, with this fixture being the first of 6 friendlies against the likes of Havant and Waterlooville, Farnborough and Crawley Town as Pompey stay local.
Yeah, they're a solid enough unit, Woking, with a decent history. They play in the 5th tier of English football, and they appointed Neil Ardley as their manager on the 19th of December 2024. They moved into their current abode, Kingfield Stadium, back in 1922, and it's been known as the Laithwaite Community Stadium since 2015. Previously, the club had played at the Horsell Cricket Ground before moving to a dedicated football venue on Pembroke Road in 1907. They're a solid opposition, and as is always the case when Pompey play these friendlies, plenty of members of the opposing team are going to be wanting to show what they can do against a championship side and championship players, because they will all hope to measure themselves well and put in an eye-catching performance. The fans will be there to see Pompey as well as their team Woking, and there'll be some Pompey fans there as well. So fascinating to see how this one turns out, and all of the friendlies. Let's bear in mind that it'll be interesting to see whether Sigecic gets a debut, whether Hayden Matthews plays, and whether Ferguson, who is kind of on trial in one or more of these friendlies, whether he gets a start. Football League World have picked up what they call the Standards reports about Freddie Potts and his future, or lack of it, with Pompey. I'm not sure if it's the Evening Standard they're referring to, because I thought that was defunct. But anyway, it's a source and it's an authority, and this is what they are saying.
Bristol City and Portsmouth have suffered a setback, with West Ham unlikely to offer up Freddie Potts and George Earthy for loan deals. According to the Standard, Graham Potter is considering integrating the young pair into first-team plans for next season. Earthy and Potts spent the previous campaign on loan with the Robins and Pompey, respectively, but will not be returning for another year. Both players played 37 times each for their respective clubs in the regular championship season, with Earthy helping Bristol City earn a place in the playoffs under Liam Manning, and earning 2 more appearances in that time. West Ham are preparing for another Premier League campaign, with Potter's side currently undergoing pre-season before next month's opening round of games. Earthy and Potts have returned to the squad as part of those preparations, with it now being claimed that the Hammers are set to include them in their plans for the upcoming season. The pair have impressed Potter during their time in the 2nd Division, and it's understood they will not be loaned out again at this moment in time.
Pompey can take quite a lot from having Freddie Potts as one of us for an entire season, 37 games, 37 appearances he made. First of all, there's the contribution that he made to the points tally, which left us in 16th place, and in some people's eyes quite comfortably avoiding relegation, although it was a bit squeaky bum time from time to time, was it not? But also, Potts acts as a reminder to anybody who needs it in the higher echelons of British football and English football that Pompey look after loan players well. Loan players come to us, they get well treated, they get plenty of game time, and they are also subjected to some pretty high level coaching and man management. So that if there are big clubs who are in talks with Pompey about lending us one or two of their talents, Pompey will be able to say, if you want to know what sort of a job we do, just ask Graham Potter.
Pompey's sporting director Rich Hughes has broken his silence on the buzz surrounding possible Fratton Park comebacks for fan favourites Abu Kamara and Alex Robertson. While Hughes hasn't ruled out reuniting with the League One title-winning pair, he's highlighted some real challenges standing in the way. The rumour mill has been working overtime this summer, with both players' futures at their current clubs looking increasingly uncertain. Kamara's struggled to find his feet at Hull in his first championship season, and with a new manager in the dugout and the club facing a transfer embargo, his name keeps popping up in the gossip columns. Sky Sports even reported that Rangers are sniffing around, hoping to snap up the forward on the cheap as Hull tries to sort out their money troubles. As for Robertson, word on the street is he might be heading for the exit at Cardiff following their drop into League One, especially with new gaffer Brian Barry Murphy looking to shake things up. While Pompey still holds both players in high regard, having tried and failed to keep them after their loan spells from Norwich and Manchester City last season, Hughes suggests getting them back to Fratton Park isn't as straightforward as fans might hope.
We all know that this one is going to go down right to 7 p.m. on September the 1st, which is when I think this transfer window closes. It's probably not going to happen. It's almost certainly not going to happen. Rich Hughes is saying it's almost certainly not going to happen. There's the phrase that he used for Rob Atkinson, too many moving parts, probably applies to both of these players who we hold in the highest esteem because we've seen them week in, week out for periods of time, sometimes in the same side. We know what they can do. We know they can do it in the Championship, or at least we are reasonably certain that they can do it in the Championship for us. And they're young and they're going to get better and they're going to become more valuable. So there are plenty of fans who are going to be saying this is the time to phrase that they like to use for the owners to put their hands in their pockets. As if it were that simple. As if it were that simple to get a good team by simply spending lots of money. We know that's not true. We know that amounts of money spent disproportionately by some Championship sides that threaten to ruin the club, they can spend 10 times what Pompey will spend, and they will not end up a 10 times better than Pompey side. So we know that it is a hollow promise spending loads of money in order to get somewhere. Spend wisely and you can get a long way down the road to somewhere. If we really do begin to threaten Premier League status, if we really are towards the top come the January window of perhaps the season after this one that's coming up now, then it might be possible to persuade Michael Eisner to spend 10 or 15 million quid on somebody. Of his money, remember. I mean, unlike at Wrexham, where those two Hollywood guys loaned Wrexham loads of money and are now getting it back, presumably with interest. Maybe not, I might be doing them a misservice. It might have been an interest-free loan. But they're getting their returns. They bought Wrexham for 2 million, and there are estimates now that it is worth between 100 and 150 million. So they haven't done too badly out of that. And there are Pompey fans, of course, who say, well, we should be doing that as well. We should be making those investments because that will increase the value of Portsmouth Football Club and therefore the Eisner's wealth. It will increase the Eisner's wealth. But again, it isn't as simple as that. What is simple is what we've been doing since the Eisners took over, which is to carefully and cautiously and sensibly and wisely and with great deference to the whole business of making a business work. We're doing it well. And so we shouldn't rock the boat. So we won't go mad. We won't be paying above the dollar for either Robertson or Kamara. But if somehow or another they do become available and they do indicate that they like to pull on the blue shirt again, we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, though, let's just enjoy having it as a pipe dream and something that we can gossip about. That's almost as much fun as there being actual football matches to talk about.